It was supposed to be a celebration of triumph, until one simple question revealed the pain behind the smile. Studio 6B buzzed with anticipation that Thursday evening. The Tonight Show's signature blue and gold lights painted everything in warm hues as the Roots laid down their smooth groove. 300 audience members filled every seat, their energy electric with excitement. Jimmy Fallon, in his perfectly tailored navy suit, bounded onto the stage with that infectious smile that had made him America's beloved late-night host. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jimmy announced with his trademark enthusiasm, "please welcome the incredibly talented Selena Gomez." The applause was thunderous as Selena emerged from backstage, radiant in a flowing emerald dress that caught the studio lights beautifully. At 29, she carried herself with the poise of someone who'd grown up in the spotlight, yet there was something ethereal about her presence, a grace that seemed almost fragile, like spun glass. Her smile was picture perfect as she waved to the cheering crowd, but if you looked closely, really closely, there was a careful quality to it. Not fake exactly, but practiced. The smile of someone who'd learned that the show must always go on. They settled into their chairs as the applause died down, and Jimmy launched into his usual warm banter about her latest album, her acting projects, and her incredible journey from Disney star to global icon. "So Selena," Jimmy said, leaning forward with genuine interest, "this new album feels incredibly personal. You've been through so much, and yet you keep creating this beautiful music that touches millions of people. How do you do it?" Selena's smile never wavered. "Music has always been my therapy, you know. When words fail me, melodies speak for me. This album is definitely my most honest work yet." The conversation flowed beautifully. They talked about her upcoming tour, her makeup line, her advocacy work. Selena was charming, articulate, everything a talk show host could want in a guest. But Jimmy, who'd spent years reading between the lines with celebrities, sensed layers beneath the polished surface. "You know what?" Jimmy said, reaching into his jacket pocket with theatrical flair. "I've got something really special tonight. We asked your fans to send in messages, and honestly, the response was overwhelming. These people love you so much." Selena's eyes lit up genuinely for the first time in the interview. "Oh, that's so sweet. I love my fans. They're incredible." Jimmy pulled out colorful cards. "Okay, here's one from Emma in Texas. Selena, you've helped me through my darkest days. Thank you for existing. Isn't that beautiful?" "That's..." Selena's voice caught slightly. "That means everything to me." Here's another one from Marcus in New York. "Your strength inspires me to keep fighting." And here's my favorite from little Sophia, age 10. "Selena, what was the happiest moment of your whole life?" Jimmy looked up with that warm smile, expecting another heartwarming response. Instead, he watched Selena's carefully constructed composure crack like ice under pressure. Her smile didn't fade gradually. It simply vanished. The transformation was so sudden, so complete, that even the studio audience fell quiet, sensing something had shifted. Selena started, then stopped. She looked down at her hands, which had begun to tremble slightly. "I don't know." Jimmy's own smile faltered as he realized they'd stumbled into something much deeper than a promotional interview. "What do you mean?" Jimmy asked gently, his entertainer's instincts replaced by genuine concern. Selena looked up, and for the first time in the interview, her eyes were completely unguarded. I don't know. I can't think of a single moment where I felt truly, completely happy." The studio fell into uncomfortable silence. This wasn't what anyone had expected from what was supposed to be a celebratory interview about new music and success. "Selena," Jimmy said softly, abandoning his cards and leaning forward, "talk to me." "I've been sick for so long," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Lupus, kidney transplant, anxiety, depression. I've been fighting my own body and mind since I was 19. And even before that, there was always pressure, always something. I realize sitting here that I can't remember the last time I felt joy without also feeling pain or fear or worry about what's coming next. The admission hung in the air like a confession. Jimmy glanced at his production team, then made a decision that would define this moment forever. He set down his index cards and stood up from behind his desk. The cameras followed him as he walked around to where Selena sat, but this was no longer television. This was human connection in its rawest form. "Hey," Jimmy said, his voice stripped of all performance. He pulled up a chair beside her. "Look at me." Selena looked up, tears now visible in her eyes. "First of all, thank you for being honest. That took incredible courage." Jimmy's voice carried genuine admiration. "But I need to tell you something, and I need you to really hear me." Selena nodded, waiting. "You're sitting here right now in this moment talking to me and 300 people who adore you. You're healthy enough to be here. You're strong enough to share your truth. And you know what I see when I look at you?" "What?" Selena whispered. "I see someone who's happy. Maybe not the Instagram perfect kind of happy, but real happiness. The kind that comes from surviving, from still being here, from still creating, still loving, still fighting." Selena's tears began to fall freely now. "But how can you be sure?" Jimmy smiled. Not his television smile, but something smaller and more genuine. "Because you're smiling. Right now, even while you're crying, there's a smile in your eyes. That's not fake happiness, Selena. That's real joy breaking through the pain." The audience began to react then, not with applause, which would have been wrong, but with small sounds of recognition, of shared understanding. Because everyone in that studio had felt lost at some point, had questioned their own happiness. "I think," Jimmy continued, "happiness isn't one big moment we're supposed to remember. It's tiny moments we often miss because we're too busy hurting or worrying or trying to be perfect. Like right now, you're connecting with people, you're being real, you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. That's happiness." Selena wiped her face with her hands. "I never thought about it that way." "Your fans don't love you because you're always happy," Jimmy said. "They love you because you're human, because you show them it's okay to struggle and still shine." "But what if I can't find those moments?" Selena asked. Jimmy stood up and, without any ceremony, extended his hand to her. "Then we'll find them together right now. Will you stand up for a second?" Confused but trusting, Selena took his hand and stood. "Turn around and look at this audience," Jimmy said. Selena turned to face the crowd, and what she saw took her breath away. 300 people were on their feet, not applauding, but simply showing their presence, their support, their love. Some were crying, some were smiling, all were radiating pure human connection. "This," Jimmy said softly, "is happiness. Not the feeling you have when everything is perfect, but the feeling you have when you realize you're not alone." The applause that followed was unlike anything The Tonight Show had ever heard. It wasn't celebration. It was recognition, acknowledgement, a collective embrace of someone's courage to be vulnerable. When they sat back down, Selena was different. Not cured, not suddenly perfect, but present in a way she hadn't been before. "You know what the beautiful thing is?" Jimmy said as they returned to their chairs. "That little girl Sophia who asked the question, you just gave her the most honest answer anyone could give. You showed her that happiness isn't a destination. It's a choice we make in small moments." When they came back from commercial, they didn't talk about album promotion or tour dates. They talked about finding joy in everyday moments, about the difference between happiness and contentment, about how strength sometimes looks like admitting you're struggling. Selena talked about her fans being her daily source of small happinesses, about how creating music felt like building bridges to other people's hearts. Jimmy shared his own struggles with always feeling pressure to be on, about learning to find happiness in quiet moments with his family. The episode aired exactly as it happened. The response was immediate and profound. Small moments began trending as viewers shared tiny instances of joy they'd overlooked. Mental health organizations received record donations. Lupus research foundations saw unprecedented support. But perhaps the most meaningful response came from Sophia, the 10-year-old who'd asked the original question. Her mother sent a video message to the show. "Dear Selena, Sophia wanted you to know that after watching your show, she said she found her happiest moment. It was watching you be brave on TV. She said you taught her that being sad sometimes doesn't mean you can't be happy too." Selena posted that video on her social media with a simple caption, "Sometimes happiness finds us when we stop looking for it. Thank you, Sophia, for reminding me that brave moments can also be happy moments." It wasn't just late-night television. It was a reminder that the most profound joy often comes not from perfect moments, but from perfectly honest ones.